All right, I may be starting just a few seconds early, but actually I just looked at my clock and it just changed to 1 o'clock. So we are ready to go. Welcome to another edition of Sight Reading Maverick. I'm Erica Sipes. I just realized I never say that. I'm Erica Sipes. And I'm the crazy person that dreamed this up at the beginning of the pandemic because I love sight reading. And I don't know enough piano music. I mean, it never ends, right? And why else? I don't know. I just felt like doing this and having a fun challenge every Sunday. So thank you for joining me for this time. Quick couple of things. I am trying some new settings, as I always am, to make the best quality show for you. So do please give me feedback if something's not working. You can do that in the YouTube chat box, and I'll keep checking on that periodically to make sure it's all working. The other thing I want to just point out is that below this picture that you're watching, there is a lineup, a program order of what I'm planning on doing, which can always change, and also links to the scores when they're available. So without further ado, I'm going to get going here. All right. The first request was by our dear Louis, and he requested two pieces, the first of which is by Fernand de la Tombelle. This is his 5 pieces for piano. I had never heard of this composer, not surprisingly. French composer, he was an organist, and he studied with Liszt, was at least one of his teachers. And yeah, so he wrote quite a bit of music, and so we're going to explore some more today. Louis had requested numbers 2 and 4 from this set specifically, but I think I'm going to go ahead and read from the beginning of the set, just for fun. All right. The first piece of the set is in 6/8, and it has no key signature, so I'm guessing either C major, A minor. Looking at the last chord, it looks like C major. I probably could have figured that out just by reading the beginning too. Looks like it's kind of a multi-part texture in the left hand, in the right hand, sorry, melody, and then just repeated chords. The left hand is just single line. Looks kind of like it creates a duet with that top voice. So what that tells me is I'm not going to worry too much about the inner voice in the right hand. I'll try to capture the harmony, but that's about it. I really want to bring out these outer voices that are going to create the kind of duets and the melodies, melodic material. Fastest note value, 8th notes. It's andantino. So I think I'm going to do a fairly, I'm not going to do it too slow. I don't want to do it too slow because I don't like this accompaniment. It can get very bogged down. So let's try 1, 2. very lovely, simple, straightforward. And I just loved the melody. And then it very simple harmonically, except for in that middle section where it got a little bit interesting. All right, the second movement is pas vite, so more lively here. And it is in E major. Yes, this looks a little bit more complicated. We've got this rhythmic figure. Did I say it's 3/4? It's 3/4. Has very much like a waltz kind of look about it, just from glancing at it. Fastest note value again, except for the 16th notes in the dotted rhythm, are 8th notes. And again, the left hand and the right hand are actually quite balanced in terms of what material they have. The left hand has some scalar motion that's going to be repeated in the right hand. But again, very scalar. So I'm just going to follow the contour of the lines mostly. Keep in mind the key. Got some double sharps at the end. And that could tend to catch me off guard. But it's really just an inner voice that goes up chromatically. So maybe if I try to remind myself of that, that will help. So let's do kind of a waltz tempo, I think. 1, 2, 3. At the beginning. Oh, I do know. It's because I didn't catch that I was going to have to play some of the stuff that looks like it's in the left hand, that I would need to play it in the right hand. So that just bamboozled me and got me started off on a little bit of a confused foot. That sounds funny. Okay, the next movement. Am I going to do the next movement? Yeah, why not? It is marked allegretto. This is in D major or B minor. Yeah, D major. 6/8. Again, fastest note value, 8th notes. That seems to be a trend here. And let's see, what else can I find out? Dotted rhythms. Again, it's pretty thick texture, except in the middle here, it does do a little bit of a syncopated left hand thing. But it's quite straightforward. It doesn't have any other notes except for D. So hopefully I'll just fool around with Ds. A lot of kind of pedal tones in that middle section. So that should be a nice place to just kind of relax. And then we've got a lento in the last 2 measures. So let's do, let's see. That was quite thick. And so what I really tried to do in that instance as I got going was just, again, focus on those outer voices and not worry so much about some of the inner stuff. I caught those when I could, but tried to keep moving. All right, and then now number 4, which is the other one that Louis had requested. So this is Andante, and this one actually has a metronome indication. That's helpful. So it's a quarter note equals 54, and it does have an agitato section in the middle. F sharp minor, quite short. So, okay. Something about the middle section makes me nervous. So I'm going to kind of analyze what it is. It's actually quite straightforward. I'm going to focus on the melody and the bass again, which is very much a part of that melody, a duet. But what was getting me was the syncopated stuff in the alto again. But that's all it is that made it look confusing to me. All right, F sharp minor and A major. We do have 16ths in here. And it's andante, so we don't want it too fast. Which leads to, guess what? About quarter note equals 54. So 1, 2. I'm going to retake that because I was in the wrong key. That was beautiful. Caught me off guard with some of the hand distribution things. So that was kind of interesting. But those were charming pieces. So I'm going to look into that composer and see what else he's written for piano. All right, I'm going to skip the last one for now because we have a very full program and I want to go on. So the next request is also a Louis request, and this is by Alberto Nepomuceno. I'm hoping that's how you say it, Brazilian composer. And this one is a transcription or an arrangement for piano by Barrozo Netto. And this was originally written for violin and piano. It's Préce, and I don't know what Préce means. Largo, F sharp minor. It's a sempre sem pedal, which now I guess I don't know. I've never seen sem. I'm wondering if that's Spanish or Portuguese for. I think I'm gonna guess without pedal. We'll find out because it's all marked staccato. So kind of a thick texture in the left hand, which was probably the piano part. And I think the right hand is going to take over, yes. And then melody in the right hand. Left hand stays in that same rhythm throughout. There's a measure of 3, 2, 1, which is not a big deal. It's not going to alter much of anything, just adds a beat. Okay. got a lot of octaves in the left hand, but it's a slower tempo. So I think it should be okay. So to choose the tempo, because there's no indication, I'm gonna look at the melody here. Very slow notes. So I don't think it should be too slow. So that's what we're gonna do. 1, 2. Well, that posed some really interesting challenges for me. It was beautiful, first of all. I think I would rather maybe play it with a violinist because it would be less work. What I found what occurred to me while I was doing that is that I was going to try to do it without pedal, but I think for sight reading purposes that was freaking me out because I use the pedal to really kind of aid, obviously, in getting around the keyboard when I'm sight reading. So I did use a little pedal here and there, but every once in a while I tried just taking it off and really relying on this right hand legato against that other texture. So this would be a really good piece, I think, for students to work on this like finger substitution legato in the right hand against a texture that didn't use pedal, if that makes any sense. Anyway, that was really interesting, Louis. So thank you for recommending that. I would also like to hear that done on violin and piano. So, all right, next on the program is along my lines of my Play a Composer's piece that I've either met on Twitter or somebody's contacted me with a piece that they would like, or yeah, I'd like to have sight read on the show. And this week I was contacted by English composer. Do you say English or British? I never know. Composer from the UK, Greg Harradine. Harradine. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. So he contacted me and sent me to his YouTube channel. So I went and listened to some of his music and really liked his style. And then there was one that caught my eye. I didn't listen to much of it because this is a sight reading show, so I don't want to listen to much of it. But the title caught my eye because it's this ridiculously long title that starts the muted nostalgia of a millennial gazing over suburban rooftops. But actually, I wish I could show you, but the title is actually much longer than that. It's very silly. So I buy books based on their titles and by their covers. I buy wine that way too. So why not pick a piece that way? So we'll see how the music is. Okay, it is E minor. This looks very kind of along the lines of minimalism. It has a lot of repeated just patterns with slight changes, which I'm guessing is going to kind of make the piece. E minor, so lots of repeated things, like I said, but he's got accented notes at the beginning of each measure. Yeah, the texture stays the same throughout, although it looks like there's some added accents. It gets a little bit more accented as we go on. And it looks like we're going to have some harmonic interest as we go along as well. The left hand is going to go up to the treble clef. So that is good to note. It's after there's this big kind of lead up on an arpeggio. And it looks like the left hand stays in the treble clef for the remainder of the piece. Oh, okay. Another thing I'm noticing is that this is in compound meter and it's mostly divided, 3/8 notes per beat. But as we get to the last page, it shifts every once in a while. So I'm trying to take note of that right at the top of the page. Okay, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. He says dotted quarter note equals 114, and then next to that, only half ironically. Not quite sure what that means. I have a feeling that Greg has a sense of humor. Something tells me. So let's see, 120 is bum, ba-dum. So I'm probably going to do it a little bit slower than that. Okay, let's try it. Okay. I have to figure out the ending. That didn't work, did it? That's better. I knew something had to be wrong in there. Oh, that was really fun. It was kind of awkward in spots. I'm really glad I didn't take that any faster than I did. But I really liked that. And to me, it was very much like I could easily picture some scene going on in the background. So yeah, I can really see students enjoying playing this piece as well. So I love it. So Greg, if you happen to be watching, thank you for letting me know about you. So I'll have to check out the rest of your music. So that was the Muted Nostalgia, blah, 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 really super long title by Greg. And there is a link to, if you like the piece, you can, there's a link to where you can buy the score. All right. Next on the program, oh, this is a birthday gift. So Inca Warrior, who watches the show a lot, it's his birthday. I'm not sure I was supposed to tell everybody that. So Inca Warrior, I'm very sorry if I let the cat out of the bag publicly and you didn't want that. But anyway, Inca Warrior also places requests a lot, and I'm grateful for that. And I've played some of his music, which has also been great. But he requested for his birthday that I play the month of May from Tchaikovsky's The Seasons. Last week I played, I think I played June last week. So this one is May. And as I said last week, I knew about these pieces, but I haven't heard them very much. And I certainly haven't played them. So here we go. Andantino. I think it's G major, 9/8. Eighth note motion mostly is the fastest thing in the first part. Then it looks like there's a middle section that goes into perhaps B minor or D major. Allegro giocoso, so it's probably going to be a little bit faster. Maybe not. It does go from compound meter to basic. So yeah, let's see. I really don't know what tempo it should be. So we'll just kind of wing it when we get there. And then after that middle section, we go back to the A section. Inca Warrior, if I choose the wrong tempos, I hope you forgive me. But happy birthday anyway. Wow, I enjoyed that. Um, some of that I found surprising, and I'm not quite sure why. I think I just wasn't able to predict as much what was happening. So, anyway, happy birthday, Inca Warrior. Oh, yay! He said, best birthday present ever. It's my pleasure, my friend. So, thank you for making that request. Um, it was my joy to give that to you. So, all right, moving on. I'll have to read more of those. Maybe I'll do 1 month every sight reading show for a while. All right, oops, I gotta skip out of this. It's a long set of pieces. The next request was made by a friend of mine, Nick, and this is a set of pieces by Robert Nathaniel Dett, who's a Canadian American, was a Canadian American composer. And this is from his suite called In the Bottoms. So In the Bottoms, that refers to, I think I read that it's waterways down in the south or something like that. A little quick note, I did a little bit of research on him and I found out that he got his master's degree from Eastman School of Music, which is where I went to school and got my master's degree. Obviously after he did. But anyway, so interesting. He incorporated a lot of spirituals in his music and folk music as well. So, and I believe this might have been one of his earlier sets of pieces. And I don't know how many movements I'm going to play, maybe 2. The first one is his song, and it looks really intriguing to me. It's in 2/2. Andante non troppo, ma più patetico. It looks very much like written out, like speech or like recitatives, kind of. Lots of retards, accelerandos. Looks like D minor primarily, and then it goes into D major possibly. It ends D major. So let's see. There's no real fast motion. We've got some triplets, but that's it. And I'm looking at time. Oh, okay. I think we're doing well. We'll do that as kind of our base, but again, I think it allows for a lot of flexibility. I can't figure out his fingering. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to follow it. Well, I made up a lot of that rhythm, so I don't really know. It was because I think I had this mindset of, okay, it's free rhythm and so on and so forth. So I just kind of didn't count and keep track of things. Plus, well, I'm not going to make excuses. It was just creative rhythming. The next movement is called Honey. It's a humoresque, capriccioso. And I'm starting to run a little bit slow on time, or I'm running short on time. That's the phrase. So I probably will just kind of do a quick glance through and then play it. It's only 2 pages, F major. I have no idea what to expect. I'm gonna look at the end because the ending is usually a little tougher. Let's try it. Okay. Lots of fun. I was struggling to read. There's tons and tons of musical directions in the score. And so I was struggling to read the notes, hear it coming up, and read all that. So if you sense some hesitation, that's why. Um, oh my. All right, this is the one that Nick actually requested. So the question is, do I do it? It looks a little daunting, but I guess, why not fall on my face? Now, the thing that's making me nervous as I'm looking at this, oh my gosh. Can I do this? Oh, that's mean. Oh, this is in 6/8. I have to remember that one. There's this 4 staff section, which is mean, right? And then why is it in 4 staves? Staves, stabs, whatever. Oh my gosh, it goes on and on. Okay, so it's like two for each hand. And it goes on and on. I don't know. Oh, we're gonna do it, right? Should I do it? Somebody tell me if I should try it. I'm feeling nervous. We're gonna try it. I don't have time for the delay. Okay, so it's a Barcarolle. It says dotted quarter note equals 56. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna totally regret this. There's all these runs. Oh my gosh. truly a crash and burn moment, but that was kind of a fun challenge. Inca Warrior says, now I don't feel so bad when I write in 3 or 4 staves. Love the whatevers. Yeah, okay, that was kind of cruel, Nick. I'm gonna have to get you back for that one. You really do need to come on the show, and then I'm gonna make you do something like that. Anyway, moving on. We have 10 more minutes, 8 more minutes. I'll probably go over just a few. I was going to do some Busoni pieces in an ancient style. I think I'm going to bump that to next week because, I mean, I don't know why I should do this, but I'm going to do another request of Nick's because I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit nicer than that one I just did. So maybe I'll redeem myself. So Nick also requested the J.C. Bach Sonata in D major. So that's how I'm going to close the show. In case you couldn't tell, I love ending with pieces in this era. I guess because I can maybe redeem myself a little bit more usually. All right, so I won't talk a lot. I'm just going to play because of time. We'll see how it goes, but I will scan it for myself to see what happens. I think I'll take it at a nice clip. I'm not sure that's such a good idea after that last piece. Okay. All right. Second movement. There's a lot of faster subdivisions in here. So I'm going to use those to come up with the tempo. I'm starting things in the wrong key today. Charming. Okay, and then the last movement is a minuetto. And I think Nick said that the minuetto should not be too slow. And I don't know if he's saying that just to put me in a trap. No, it does look pretty doable. So we'll take it at a little nicer clip. And it's 2 o'clock, so we're going to go over just a minute. All right, here we go. So there you have it. So there was J.C. Bach's Sonata in D major, and I don't believe I've ever read one of his sonatas. So again, Nick, thank you for that request. And thank you to everybody that joined in today. Inca Warrior, Louie, oh, there's Martha Blair, who I'm guessing might, I don't know, Martha. And also, it looks like Anna Karina also joined us today. So thank you to everybody that watched. Let people know about this show. It's just fun to do. And if you have any requests throughout the week for the next Sunday show, do send them to me via Twitter or any way you can get that message to me. So I hope you have a really good week, everybody, and happy sight reading